Hi, I'm Brian Snyder. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to learn how to create a widget bank, create the workspace, and send someone a link so they can take advantage of your creation. Populate the name property, one prompt page, create one widget for each question, drag those questions out onto the prompt page one widget at a time, and send them a link. Here's an example of our final result. In today's example, we're going to add the fourth prompt in the lower right-hand corner, date, which is currently missing. That will allow a user to fully slice these widgets by date, geography, job family, and gender. This upper left-hand corner, notice how users using a workspace can zoom into your visualizations once they've been authored. In this case, we're looking at voluntary and involuntary separations. Instead of looking at that by job family, let's replace it with tenure on our own. With an end user, I just navigate through the cube, choose tenure, click done, and this workspace is automatically updated for not just myself, but for whoever else is looking at it. After filtering on date and drilling down, let's open up a starting point and show how the additional date prompt and widget in the lower right hand corner was created. Initially we have three prompts: geography, family, and gender. Each one of those prompts has its own query. On the main page, you'll notice we have three of our four visualizations. They all use the same query called main. It's a proven practice. When creating widget reports, try to keep one query for all of your objects. It makes it much easier to control the prompt, the way the prompt interacts with the queries. Let's go ahead and continue this report and build in the tree map visualization in the lower right. Drag in a visualization. We choose the visualization we're interested in. Again, assign it to the main query. From the main query, we're already looking at the measure number of high performers. We do not have ethnic group in our query, so let's go and drag that in as our category. And since we're already using geography elsewhere in our query, we can go back to our query tab and drag geography in as our secondary category. Remember, it's important to populate the name property. Let's grab this title, and selecting the visualization, go to the name property and populate it with an appropriate name so we can search and find it easily when building the workspace. Let's resize it so that it's the same size as the others. As we saw, users can resize these in the workspace, but this would be the place to go to initially set the initial size. Notice the name property has already been populated for all of the other visualizations. Let's now create the fourth prompt by adding a block and a text item inside of it with the label date. And since we would like to show the hierarchy of the entire year, quarter, month dimension, let's use a tree prompt in this case, which is meant for a hierarchy. Let's call the parameter date. When we create the filter, we'll select the hierarchy under the fiscal period called date. In will allow them to make more than one selection, and optional will allow them to run it without having to make a selection. We've created another query called date. We've matched the size now. As you see, I'll copy the formatting from one prompt and apply it to the new one created so they have the same size. And when testing it out, you can see all of our prompts are the same size. I can now navigate select all of fiscal year 2011, and when I run the report, all four of these widget parts or report parts are all filtered on that fiscal year. And again, because this was built dimensionally, I can click and drill down from a geography to get down to the country, and from the country down to the city, and so on. Let's save this report and look how we can add it to the workspace. Let's create a new workspace. Let's go out to our report we created. Let's insert the prompt page first. Notice the fourth prompt on the page that we just created a moment ago. Let's just move it over here behind this content panel. Notice the name properties of each. Help us find each of these widgets more quickly. Let's organize these widgets on the page. For the first time adding these, you'll just have to click apply once. Let's put this next chart next to this tornado chart. Let's grab our pivot table and place that underneath our tornado chart. Let's grab the tree map and drag that under our chart. And notice when this was authored, the sizes maybe do not line up as we like. So what we can do inside the workspace is resize them as we see fit. After some further resizing, we can see the final completion. The new visualization in the lower right, working with the new prompt, the new date prompt as well. When we click Share Workspace, here's how we can get this to others without navigating through folders, just by sending them a link. Let's save this in the public folders first of all. Give it a name. Users can navigate to the public folder and find this workspace and open it. But even better, we can send someone a link and disable a lot of the functionality we just saw. In this case, we're just going to give them the tabs and not allow them to do more or see the content pane. So when I click create an email, it generates an email that I could send to anyone. And what we're looking at now is what it looks like when a user clicks that link from an email. They go to the workspace we just created, and you'll notice the only thing they can do is just change prompts, drill down. There's no do more, there's no zoom in, there's no content pane. The only thing that users can do is drill up, drill down, and change prompt values. When accessing the workspace directly from the public folders, you'll notice that the zoom in, the do more button is available, the content pane is available. Great way of sending someone a link, controlling the functionality at the same time. This concludes today's presentation on creating workspace widgets. I'm Brian Snyder. Thanks for joining.